Hello everyone. Thanks for joining this session. My name is Mahdi Triki. I am co-founder and VP Sales and Marketing of RoamSmart. Today, I'm glad to present our company and portfolio and focus on our latest innovation, the STEEROP, the Steering Optimizer module. RoamSmart was founded in December 2012 with the objective to develop and offer innovative roaming management solutions to help the mobile operators and roaming teams to automate, centralize, and digitize as much as possible of the daily activity related to roaming operations. We have global partners on technical side, Microsoft for the cloud infrastructure. So we use Azure Cloud with high availability and security standards. We are, of course, GSMA associate member, and we have also commercial partners reselling our solutions, for instance, Comphone, EDCH, and Yara. Our company has been awarded a couple of times during the last year based on ROCCO surveys, on roaming operational tools, on customer support quality, but also in both Innovators surveys in the last years. Last year, we were ranked fourth most innovative solution with our rollout solution, the Rollout Optimizer. We are very glad today to serve 120 customers in 88 countries, including full groups like Telenor, like Telia, Vion, Zain, and also other individual opcos from other groups. So we focus on what we call roaming management challenges, which is, of course, setting up a roaming agreement, which goes through different steps from negotiation to SIM card exchange, IREG and TADIC tests, up to the commercial launch. But of course, you know that even after the go live, there are still data and documents to be exchanged between roaming partners. For instance, the RICE documents are 21 IoT and data. Each operator has also to focus on his network quality, network configuration quality, steering, market share, also signing and renewing discount agreements. So it's a continuous process, a continuous exchange of data and documents that operators need to manage for their hundreds of roaming partners. They need also to manage internal communication between the roaming team, the core team, IT, support, finance, etc. All this really adds up to a very important and big amount of data and documents to be managed. If this is done manually, there is a high risk of human errors, which can have an impact on the business profitability, on service availability. And that's why we see today a need in the market for what we call the roaming digital transformation platform. Our answer to this challenge is our unified roaming platform. So we have a big data, one-stop shop platform, which is called Unified Roaming Platform. And on the top of it, we build applications, individual applications, and each one of them is really focusing on a specific challenge. As of today, we have 10 applications on the platform that you can see, and they are addressing RICE management, they are addressing workflow and document and SIM card repository, they are addressing roaming database audit, inbound roaming market share, TADIC validation, discount agreement, operational management, rollout optimization, and also holistic database of interoperator tariffs. These are the 10 applications, and today we're going to present the new innovation that we are bringing to the market, which is the Steering Optimizer. Today, roaming commercial teams are signing more and more discount agreements every year and renewing them. These discount agreements, they can have different models like threshold, like send or pay, commitment on charge, commitment on revenue. And so that's why you can have the situation where in one destination, in one country, you might have 2 or 3 discount agreements with different models, with different commitment level. That's why it's very important to have an efficient and optimal outbound traffic distribution so that you make sure that you fulfill your commitments and also that you reduce your wholesale cost to the minimum. In addition to that steering platform, you know, most of them are working based on update location request. But when you engage and when you commit, that's more on the traffic itself or on the money itself, so on the revenues, for instance. That's why the roaming teams, they really need to ensure that they have an optimized and efficient outbound traffic distribution with regular follow-up to make sure that you optimize your wholesale costs. So that's the challenge that STEEROP is trying to cover. STEEROP, I would like to emphasize that it's not a steering platform. STEEROP is a solution which comes before the steering platform. So the output of our STEEROP would be the input for the steering platforms. So STEEROP is covering these challenges related to steering from both aspects, the process part and also the financial optimization part. It suggests the optimal traffic distribution to be configured in the steering platform based on the existing discount agreements, the commitments, and the traffic forecast. And of course, this optimization is based on an advanced mathematical modeling algorithm because it has to cater for all the different discount agreements that exist in the market today. So the solution has basically 3 pillars. Digitize is on the workflow part, so it helps you to create the steering configuration request directly from the system and have a visibility when they are implemented, having a workflow for internal validation and implementation, but also have visibility on the historical data, the evolution and progress of the steering, let's say, values for each of your roaming partner with flexible reporting and alerts. The second pillar is optimize, is really bringing you the steering recommendation based on your existing discount agreements, the commitments that you have, and also the traffic forecast and the realized traffic, in order to know what is the best distribution that you need to apply for each destination. Of course, this optimization is updated on a monthly basis because we get as an input the realized traffic from the previous month, and based on that, the system will apply the algorithm again to update the recommendation, which can change based on the traffic which has been realized. The third pillar is monitoring, of course, is to have a view on the realized versus the forecasted cost, to see the impact of eventually manual assignments, and also evaluate the steering platform performance based on the follow-up of the realized traffic. So the process of the solution, it's split over 3 blocks, mainly the optimizer block, the workflow block, and then the integration block. The initial version of STEEROP today covers both optimizer and workflow, and then the integration block will be coming in the roadmap. So the inputs for the optimizer are, of course, the traffic information. So we need, at the beginning of the forecast period, which is usually 1 year, let's say 2023 forecast, we need the traffic forecast for each month that you are expecting to come. And then when we move forward, each month we need the realized traffic for the previous month so that we update the logic and the algorithm. And then the second input, of course, is the deals. So we need the list of all discount agreements with the commitments with the prices. So both traffic and deals can come from the clearing platform, can come from BI system, or from any data warehouse where you are storing this data. And then in some cases, you might need the exchange rates, but this we can get from GSMA through our integration of the GSAR solution. So these are the inputs for the steering optimizer. Then the optimizer will apply the algorithm and will come up with a steering decision. So a recommendation on how you should distribute your outbound traffic in each destination. This output, you as a user, you can either push it directly to the workflow part, if you agree to this distribution, or the second option, you can do some fine-tuning. So we have implemented some flexibility because you know that the theoretical optimization is usually like 100% 0-0, but in some cases you want still to send, for example, 5% or 10% to specific operators, even if they don't have the best cost level. So you have the option here manually to what we call forced assignment. So you can configure the minimum, let's say, or the fixed distribution that you want to apply for some operators. And based on that, the system will apply the algorithm again, taking into consideration this manual intervention and give you the steering decision. So once that validated from your side, you can push it to the workflow block, which will allow you to create the work orders or the steering request and get them validated and implemented. And then, of course, a third block would be to push them directly to the steering platforms through an API. Graphical user interface, basically showing you the recommendation, so the assignment which is coming from the algorithm, eventually the forced assignment that you can enter manually, and the updated one. And then also it will show you the cost level, so the realized cost till today, and then the forecast cost and the landing cost. So you can have visibility how is your cost progressing month by month towards your forecast. And then you can see also some additional inputs like network quality information, service readiness, coverage status, some more details. So this will show you and give you some indication in case which might impact your forced assignment decision. The STEEROP was designed based on a joint discussion with our pilot customer, Orange Tunisia. So we've built a task force working on this, on the features and the scope. The POC Orange Tunisia will start the trial in this month, in February, and we're expecting the initial feedback and suggestions by end of March. The business model is a standard SaaS, software as a service model. So there is a setup fee for account creation and integration with the feeds, the input feeds, traffic and deals, and then it's a monthly subscription. Benefits for the mobile operators. First, the process automation. So it will allow you really to automate this steering request creation and assignment and validation, and have visibility on the historical data with alerts, with reports. You have also the option to, let's say, monitor the steering performance. So you can compare between the realized distribution versus the configured, let's say, target distribution. This can help you to assess the steering platform performance, to detect any suspected anti-steering behavior, any blacklisting cases. And then, of course, most importantly, the benefit is the wholesale cost reduction. So having this optimal distribution will allow you to meet your commitments, to secure the lowest wholesale rate, and then reduce the total wholesale costs. So we expect a potential reduction of the wholesale cost by 10% at the minimum. The next steps, of course, we expect the POC closure and first commercial deployment by Q2 this year. We will continue with demos and POCs for interested operators to gather some inputs and suggestions. We'll work on the flexibility of the algorithm to cope with each individual specifics. And then, of course, the objective is with the new and the next versions to expand the scope, to add additional features. Some of them have already been proposed by our pilot customer. For instance, integration with the steering platform. This is something which can add value to have an end-to-end automation. Adding alerts on outbound commitment fulfillment progress as well, since we are monitoring the traffic and we know about the commitments. And also the possibility to create several steering simulations and compare them to see the impact on the total wholesale cost. So we'll continue, of course, based on the feedback from the field, to build a roadmap for this new module and to improve the features and functionalities. So that's pretty much it from the STEEROP presentation. Thanks a lot for your attention. I'll be happy to take any question or clarification at this stage. Thank you very much for your attention and for your time.